Hi, welcome to my walkthrough on how to swap models in CSGO using Blender. This is a bit of a process, so bear with me. First thing we want to do is we want to download Blender, GCFscape, VTF-Edit, and Crowbar. I'll hopefully include a link in the description so you can download all these programs and follow along. When we're done that, what we're going to do is we're going to open up our Counter-Strike Global Offensive directory, go to the CSGO folder, and scroll down and look for the pack01dir file. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open that up with GCFscape. When that's done, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Models, Weapons, and look for, in this case, I'm going to be compiling for the 5.7, so go ahead and look for the 5.7. And there should be 4 files. And what we're going to do is we're going to close down the folder there, and I'm just going to go ahead and delete this folder because it's left over from before. And what I'm going to do is right click, create a new folder, and call it 5.7 compile. Then what I'm going to do is in this folder, create 2 new folders. One of them is going to be called uncompiled, and the other one is going to be called decompiled. Then what I'm going to do is open up the uncompiled folder and click and drag these 4 files into them. There we go. You should have the ANI, the DX90, the MDL, and the VVD extracted. That's done. All you have to do is close down GCFscape, close down your uncompiled folder, and then what we're going to do is we're going to open up Crowbar. We're going to make sure we're in the decompiled tab here, and we're going to browse to that MDL file that we extracted. In this case, it's on my desktop. And then for the output, we're going to output it to the decompiled folder on our desktop. And what we're going to do is we're going to leave everything default, and we're going to click decompiled. Alright, when that's done, what we're going to do is we're going to close out Crowbar because we don't need it right now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to open up Blender. Alright, when Blender is opened up, what we're going to do is we're going to open up the model we want to replace it with. I'm just going to select everything and join it together so that it's all one object. I'm going to go ahead and delete the camera and the light from the scene. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to File, Import, SMD, and go over to our decompiled folder and open up the 5.7 model SMD that we decompiled. Alright, when that's done, what we're going to do is we're going to take the model that we want to replace it with, and we're going to overlay it on top of this model here. Like so. I'm just going to do this roughly just to save on time. Alright, when that's done, what we're going to do is we're going to see this ball here. We're going to remember where that is, because that's where we're going to move the gun. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the model we want to replace it to over to the right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to select the model we want to replace it, and then select the 5.7. This is important because you don't want to mess this order up. So make sure you want to select the model you want to replace it with first, and then the model you want to replace second, and then right click and hit join. And you'll see here that the model's name will be 5.7 model. Make sure that's correct. If you did it the other way around, this won't work. Alright, when that's done, what we're going to do is we're going to go select the model, go over to Object Properties, and then look for v_weapon_5.7 right here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our edit mode. We're going to hit select, and that should select the bolt here and the handle. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit delete faces. And then what we're going to do is we're going to select the handle from the model we want to replace it with in the bolt catch and hit assign. And we're going to do that for all the pieces of the model. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So what you should have done now is if you go into edit mode and you select the trigger here, 5-7 trigger, and hit select, your trigger of the model should be selected. And then if you hit the slide should be selected. And if you hit the weapon magazine, the magazine should be selected, and so forth. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hit Control A, and we're going to move it back to that dot that I told you to remember. Cool. Now when that's done, what we're going to do is we're going to hit Object Mode, and we're going to go over to our scene properties, and we're going to hit the export path here. We're going to hit the folder, and we're going to go over to our decompiled folder and select the SMD here and hit accept. Now click SMD, and then we're going to go File, Export, SMD, 5.7 Model SMD. And everything should be exported. What we're going to do now is we're going to just minimize Blender. And then what we're going to do is we're going to open up our QC file here. And we're going to make sure CD materials is anything different than V_57. In this case, I have Taurus left over from a previous video. So I'm just going to go ahead and change that to, let's say, Taco. I'm going to hit File, Save. And I'm going to make sure V_pist57 is selected, and then I'm going to copy it. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Alright, when that's done, what we're going to do is we're going to open up Crowbar. Alright, once Crowbar is opened up, what we're going to do is we're going to browse to our decompiled folder that we saved the SMD into, and we're going to open up the QC file into Notepad. And what we're going to do is where it says CD materials here, we're going to replace it with anything other than V_pist57. In this case, I'm going to do Taco. And make sure when it says model name up here, copy the V_pist57. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hit File, Save. We're going to open up Crowbar. We're going to go over to the Compiled tab here. We're going to browse over to the QC file. And we're going to make sure in the Options tab here that Counter-Strike Global Offensive is selected. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hit Compile. And everything should be compiled. Now once that's done, we're going to close down Crowbar. We're going to browse over to our Counter-Strike Global Offensive directory. We're going to go to CSGO and scroll down to our pack 01 dir. We're going to right click and we're going to open it with Notepad++. Now we're going to press Control H, and that line that I told you to copy in the Find Web box, we're going to press Control V, and we're going to replace it with 5.7 with a 7. This will trick the compiler into thinking it's a different model now. There we go. Everything is compiled. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go File, Save, and everything should be good to go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to test it in the SDK to make sure everything's working properly. Of course, materials haven't been compiled. I will be showing you in a different video how to do that, but in this video, this is just solely how to replace the model. So we're going to go File, Load Model, and we're going to go to Weapons, and we're going to look for the 5.7 model. Here it is. And as you can see, everything's working, including the animations. And if you wanted to, you can actually... Ooh, what's that? I missed some stuff. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. What we're going to do is we're going to go over to Attachments here. or submodels. We're going to add a submodel, add Steam, go into Weapons, and T Arms. Let's do Pirate Arms. There you go. Everything's working. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.